Welcome back, valued viewers. Today's media commentary from our studio in Dresden. On Sunday, September 21st, a March for Peace took place in Moscow. According to the Russian press agency RIA Novosti, those attending the event, organized by the oppositional parties, consisted of followers of the Russian opposition as well as supporters of the not recognized People's Republics in eastern Ukraine. Neutral sources reported about 20,000 demonstrators. The interesting thing about this is the way the Western media is depicting things, because in their version, this was a march for peace with the main focus on expressing a mass protest against President Putin and his Ukraine policy. But how could this be if the peace march was attended actually by supporters of the People's Republics in East Ukraine? According to the most recent survey by the independent non-profit polling organization Levada Center in Russia, 86% of people surveyed positively rated Vladimir Putin's work as president. A minority may have an attitude of protest, but the suspicion arises whether the oppositional parties may have only organized the March for Peace with the goal of further discrediting Putin. The gathering of people marching for peace who were fundamentally demonstrating against warmongering, no matter which side it comes from, were recoined by the Western media, supposedly a mass protest against Putin. Furthermore, the Western media reported that the entire tenor of the peace march was aimed at bringing an end to the propagandistic and material support for the pro-Russian separatists. Especially this argumentation strategy by the Western media is a stark contrast to the newest information on the supposed Russian invasion in East Ukraine. The European Organization for Safety and Cooperation, the OSCE, could not confirm any invasion by Russian troops on site. Also, the two ministers of the People's Republic of Donetsk had stated clearly in an interview that there were many volunteers from across the globe fighting in their ranks, but no regular Russian troops. For this, see our broadcast from September 21st, 2014. Statement of pro-Russian separatists. It is also noteworthy how negatively the Western media report about the situation surrounding the March for Peace in Moscow. For instance, they wrote about widespread safety precautions, or also the massive police force. Considering the numerous attendants, the police force was entirely appropriate. The police did not even partially try to intervene in the demonstration with threats or tyranny. Perhaps this false statement by the Western media is supposed to burn the myth of a bad Russian police state into the consciousness of the people. Various media, including German Spiegel, even stated that Moscow's city officials only allowed a maximum of 50,000 participants. But the truth is, the event staff themselves only registered 50,000 participants, and the city officials approved the demonstration. This further false statement by the Western media leaves the impression that Russia is ruled by a totalitarian regime that is afraid of government-critical protests getting out of hand. To summarize, the leading Western media are once again inciting against President Putin. They are anchoring the picture of the Russian president as the enemy in the people's consciousness, using constant repetition and ever more false statements. This raises the suspicion that along with these reports on the March for Peace and the economic sanctions, they are looking for a way to validate a future military action against Russia. If the leading media are really interested in peace, then why don't they first report truthfully on the so-called anti-terror actions by the government of Ukraine's President Poroshenko against his own people, until now an unrelenting genocide? Stay informed by also watching our other broadcasts, specifically those from September, on Ukraine, Russia, and the role of the US and media in the crisis. Valued viewers, support us in efforts to establish long-term peace through informing people with true background information. We hope you'll join us again next time.